You jerk. It's freezing over there. Throw another piece of coal on the fire.
AOA podcast back for another episode. On this episode, Don Lemon. What a sexist doucher this guy's turning out to be.
Douching it up pretty good, huh?
Trump, McDougal, Melania. Again, we'll kind of recap some of the stuff from yesterday if you didn't see the very special bonus episode. Kid Rock has lost his mind. Joe Biden will have another challenger from his own party. We've got Forbes list of the richest billionaires, and here he is, fresh off a 48-hour orgasm. Frankie C, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
How chafed is your member?
It's a little personal.
Let's go in order, my friend. Let's start with crazy sexist Don Lemon.
What did he do now?
He let me tell you what he did. He insulted women.
That's not good.
You don't do that.
No good.
Now, we joke about women, making a woman laugh, very good. Insulting a woman,
no good.
No good.
So is this more than what he did that other time when he said past their prime or something?
So because of that, now everybody is just investigating and looking because they figure if there's smoke, there's fire.
Right.
Not a horrible assumption. So today came the report from Variety with a couple of CNN behind the scenes people speaking on the record, talking about what this guy has done and how much of an asshole, excuse my language, he really is.
So what has he done?
He's 57 years old, by the way.
That's surprising.
Yeah, he looks...
I would have said like 45.
I was going to say 35. He looks great. He looks really, really great. He has, according to this article, a long list, a long history of misogyny that began decades ago, including allegedly threatening and demeaning former colleagues such as Soledad O'Brien, Kira Phillips, and Nancy Grace.
Threatening them?
Yes. Variety published the article today. It alleges that Don Lemon called a female producer fat right to her face.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Says that accused Soledad O'Brien of not being black.
What?
And sent Kira Phillips a menacing text message because he was jealous.
Menacing text message?
Yeah. Goldie Taylor, a former CNN consultant, told Variety, there was a time when it appeared that black people were most often the subject of his ire. Now it seems to me that when he says something offensive, there's always a woman on the other side. I'm never surprised when Don gets in trouble.
Wow.
Any
word from CNN on this?
I don't think they've said anything about it. In 2008, while working as an anchor of CNN's Live From, Lemon was passed over for Phillips to cover the aftermath of the Iraq invasion. Enraged, he allegedly vented his jealousy by ripping up pictures and leaving them on Phillips' desk, according to two sources that worked at CNN at the time.
That seems very psychotic.
She later received a threatening text message from Lemon while out with coworkers. The message that got sent to Phillips's phone and was read from an anonymous source says, quote, now you've crossed the line. You're going to pay for it. Could you imagine sending that to a coworker?
Good Lord. What?
Now
to anybody.
Yeah. Well,
That's
my wife
insane.
sends that to me at least once or twice a day. So that's
I could see that.
not uncommon.
No, that's fine. Because you're a jerk. But how do you, man, that's
Spicy.
bullshit. Yeah, that's no good.
Speaking of HR nightmares, here comes J Sabs, our very own HR nightmares.
That's
J Sabs.
Hey,
Your
look at
very
us.
little own. What did he?
Dun.
Dang. What did he send?
He
Oh, hi.
sent his coworker who they passed over him. By the way, saying that he got passed over, allegedly, like that's a little, like maybe she just got it. You selfish piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
He sent her a text message saying, "Now you've crossed the line. You're going to pay for it."
Mm.
And he left.
Because
And he ripped up
she got a
pictures and
job.
left them on her desk.
Yeah, she got a
I'll
job
be
he was
honest.
hoping to get.
The abuse that I used to endure on my last job, that's nothing compared to the text that I used to get.
Like serious texts? Like people threatening you? Serious?
Yes.
What was the worst text message you got from a coworker?
Ooh.
You know, I've been in some, not a ton, not like J Sabs.
No.
But
Who has?
some coworkers. I don't think I've ever gotten like a threatening, crazy
No.
message.
I remember a bad one. In fact, I was just talking about this recently. First of all, I'm not stupid. I've definitely screenshot everything that my old boss would send to me. Bad. Yeah.
Solid move.
It was nothing sexual. I mean, like abusive.
Yeah, that's not good either.
No, I know. What's worse? I think honestly, abusive is worse. I think it really is. But anyway.
So what happened?
Just because I felt what he was saying through. Okay, so oh my god. Now I'm thinking of all the things. There's so many, but one of the worst ones was okay. He wanted me to go get him a car wash, right? Something I've never done before in my life for him. It wasn't part of my job. He kind of demanded that I get him a car wash so his 8-year-old daughter wouldn't have to go into a dirty car. Now, his car wasn't dirty, but whatever. But his nanny took the car, and I was trying to get it back, and it was 6:30 on a Friday night. So how many car washes do you think are open?
Not many.
0 around here.
Yeah.
So I remember I was trying to find one frantically, and he wrote to me something along the lines of, don't you dare think that you can ignore my messages. Had he put it, there's going to be serious consequences if you ignore my messages.
Who's this guy? Darth Vader?
He's like,
I find your lack of attention disturbing.
Right. And I was like, I didn't answer him because I was literally trying to find a place that was open, which I did. I begged the guy. I said, I'll pay $45 for a simple car wash when I know it's $20. I said, I'll pay double, more than double. And the guy actually stayed open for me. But it was such a mess. It was such a, I don't even know. Like, he didn't curse in that one. He's cursed in other ones. But that one, I just felt like, oh my God, he's going to kill me. So then, by the way, none of this was actually my fault at all. It was his nanny's fault, the whole thing. But of course, I took the brunt of it as usual. The message, it was like so, I don't even, degrading, and also like, I'm going to kill you. Yes, I'm going to kill you.
Jeez.
So yeah, I can definitely go back and find my messages because there's a lot of screenshots in my phone. But horrendous.
You should. Now, I don't want to kick you while you're down, but Paul has a good question. Wouldn't a good employee hand wash the car? That's what I was wondering too.
He's got a point.
Oh,
yeah.
Paul. Oh, Paul. Yeah, right?
That would be dedication, I think.
Then that could have gone on up on my OnlyFans, and I could have made a lot more money than I was. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so that was the text message from Don Lemon. Then the next, by the way, Don Lemon said that he never sent the text, but CNN conducted an investigation into the text, and they removed Lemon from his co-anchoring duties at the time alongside Phillips and demoted him to weekends, according to Variety. But Don says the incident never occurred. Around the same time, Lemon allegedly mocked headline news anchor Nancy Grace on air by mimicking her, stunning fellow colleagues. Grace thinks he's an ass who was generally rude, dismissive, and really unfamiliar with the news, according to a person close to Nancy Grace. Lemon soon earned a reputation for mistreating women in the newsroom, according to sources. When Soledad O'Brien landed a gig hosting a 2008 docuseries called Black in America, Lemon allegedly humiliated her because he had sour grapes. During an editorial call with roughly 30 staffers, Lemon suggested that O'Brien, who is white and Afro-Cuban, isn't actually black. Two witnesses told Variety. Don has had a long habit of saying idiotic and inaccurate things, so it sounds pretty on brand for him, said Soledad O'Brien, who was present during the phone call. A CNN spokesperson told the Post that Don denies making any related remark in a derogatory way. Hard to fight it, though, when you got Soledad and two other witnesses saying that it happened.
Yeah, when you got news reporters who are literally the people that are supposed to document things, like those are your witnesses, it's like, well, that's hard to fight.
I have an idea for CNN. They should let Don Lemon host a show, How Black Are You? And he just goes in and analyzes the blackness of all the people on the show for that night.
That'll last an episode, I think.
It'll get killer ratings.
It's CNN. It'll be a series. It'll probably last 3 seasons.
And it sounds like he has a natural knack for that kind of thing.
Yikes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Not good, Don.
A year after joining CNN in 2006, Lemon started dating a 22-year-old junior staffer despite the disparity in age as well as the power dynamic, according to the report. CNN insiders told Variety that Lemon, who reportedly showed up late to the newsroom and skipped editorial meetings, was allowed to skirt the rules because of his close friendship with Turner Broadcasting chairman and CEO Phil Kent. As fast as you could make a rule, Don would bend it, one senior executive said at the time. Lemon also had the backing of Jeff Zucker, who was hired to run CNN back in 2013. 6 months after Zucker's arrival, Lemon gave a controversial on-air monologue, which he told black people to pull up your pants.
Ooh.
Actually, I didn't think that was that controversial. That was a common thing that people said at the time, and not just to black people. I felt like young kids at the time were all just wearing their pants halfway down their ass.
I guess.
I found the text, by the way.
You found what?
I found the text.
The exact text that he sent?
Yep.
Is it the text or the screenshot?
I found the screenshot. I ain't going back. This is 2015, buddy.
You have the same. How do you have pictures from 2015 on your phone?
It's called the iPhone, Frank. It keeps it all in your cloud.
Can you also make phone calls on that? That's amazing. Modern technology, I tell you. Do you have these things called apps? I don't know what those are.
I keep my shit.
Okay.
For years.
How many
instances like this?
How many screenshots do you have?
You want me to look?
Of bad text. Do you have them all? Are they all organized into one album?
No, but I should probably do that. Let's see. Screenshots. Can you take a guess of how many total screenshots I have? Not for the text, just
in general.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 267.
I'm gonna say 1,235.
You both are wrong, but Frank is closest. I have 4,499.
Whoa.
Bauza. Why didn't you sue this guy? What did you ever explain why you don't sue?
I don't know why I didn't. I don't know.
You kept those text messages. You obviously thought something was up.
Yep.
Do you think it was perhaps like the statute of limitations has passed? Because if that's the case, I'm going to give you Alvin Bragg's number. He's got a way around it.
He knows what to do.
Yeah, he knows how to handle this situation. Well,
according to Trump Jr., it's the statute of limitations.
Is that right?
Not true.
He did this video. He went on one of his cocaine rants on Twitter.
Excuse me.
The statute of limitations. It's like,
let me see here. In September, he sparked more outrage when he used the sexist stereotype on air to explain why S.C. Cupp had verbally stumbled over a statistic about Republicans. Is it fair to say, he said, this is because I'm not a mommy, but is this mommy brain? He said to S.C. Cupp on the air. That was followed by an awkward silence, to then which S.C. Cupp replied, "No, Don, I just forgot what I was going to say." See, here's how I know he's a douchebag. That is not an offensive thing to say. Like, especially, I don't know if she just had a mommy, like, oh, you got mommy brain there? It could be cute, and somebody who you have a good rapport with will play with you over it. Right. But if you're constantly a douchebag behind the scenes, you're going to get an awkward silence.
Right. It comes off that you're being a consistent dick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could keep going on and on. He called the girl fat. You know, that wasn't very nice. We could keep going on and on with examples here, but basically Don Lemon seems to be a pretty bad guy.
You know, he has a lot of things in common with my old boss. Well, they both hate women. Like, that's just not, I wouldn't say hate women, but have problems with women. Because this guy sounds like I don't want to say sexist, because it's not sexist. It's that you just, I don't know how to describe it. I just problems with women.
That's sexist.
I know. I don't mean that. Like,
but let me ask you a question. Is it problems with women, or is it problems with people? Because I've heard a lot of the stories from your old guy here, and
well, this guy had problems with people, but he also had like mommy issues. So that's where it stemmed from, the women issues. So maybe Don Lemon has mommy issues too. Boom, figured it out.
Could be. You never know. But
no,
yeah, it's possible. That's not a bad hypothesis. Go along with that. But we don't know. So,
because I think there's people who are sexist but don't have problems with women, if that makes sense.
No, I'd love for you to explain that to me.
Doesn't make sense.
Like they'll think, oh, like women shouldn't get paid as much as men in certain instances, but they won't talk to women like Don Lemon talks to women, or how my old boss talks to women.
So you're saying that you can believe that women are inferior per se, but treat them with respect still.
Yep.
Whereas somebody who has a problem with women can't be respectful of them.
Well, both are sexist. It's just different forms of sexism. If you believe that women shouldn't get as much as men, that's sexism.
No, yeah, no, that's sexism. I mean, I just mean like.
Yeah, there's different levels. There's,
but I see what she's saying,
and then actions.
You could have somebody who's like completely respectful of women, but just be like, I'm not going to pay you as much as I'm paying John over here, you know?
And that's not respectful to women.
Nah, it's different. The way you could just tell, like the way he talks to women, Don Lemon, like the things that he says, they're not. Yeah,
there's different ways to be a dick up to women.
I wouldn't say it's sexist. I would say he has problems with women.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I see what she's saying. Because, like, again, you could pay a woman less. Maybe you don't promote her. Like, you can.
But that's sexism. That's the same thing. That's all under the umbrella.
That's all sexist. But you could still, if you're like super nice to them and respectful,
but you're not being respectful if you don't pay them enough. and you're not.
Well,
let's not even talk
about the workplace. Like, let's say you're friends.
Yeah.
And like you're friends with a guy and you're friends with a girl, and you get tickets to a game, and you're like, I'm gonna go with the guy.
Yeah.
You know, that could be sexist.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah. Well, it depends. I mean, is the guy a fan of the thing? The girl's not. I mean, it all. There's a lot of factors. What I'm saying is, if you're, you could be nice to the woman to her face, but if you turn around and you're not paying her an equal salary for the same job, I don't care how nice you are to her, that's still a sexist thing to do.
Right.
But I think you could be respectful of women and still be sexist.
Yep.
But
he is the opposite, because he is not respectful, and he has mommy issues. I'm calling it here. I'm telling you. You heard it first on AOA. He has mommy issues. Yeah,
because I would say that too. Because I would say if you, let's say you're paying the women all the same amount of money, and you're, they're getting promoted and everything, but every time you talk with them, you just don't know how to interact with them, or you can't. You're not nice. You're not respectful.
Yeah, I understand.
That's not necessarily you're proving that you're not showing traditional sexist tendencies, but you just can't get past your own issues.
Well, that's that's on you then. That's your own. That's if it's a socially awkward thing and you just don't know how to communicate with someone. That's one. I feel like that's something. That's one thing. But in other words, if you don't mean any disrespect, if you're trying your hardest, but you don't know how to talk to women because you're just socially awkward, and you're not intentionally doing something disrespectful, then there's something there. But if there's two types, I feel like there's two types of sexism. It's either to their face or behind their back, and it's the same thing. It's all sexism. So you could be as nice as you want to be to the women, in your workplace, whatever. If you're their boss, be respectful, gentleman. But if you're not paying them, that's still sexism. That's the same. All
right, now let me ask you a question. All right, I agree. I think you're making a good point. Is this sexist?
Yes.
If you always host a card game, but you don't invite your one female friend.
Whoa!
Now, don't take shots at me, because Mercury was the one who came up with that first.
I have well, listen to this. I have invited J-Sabs for the past, I don't know how many months, and J-Sabs has yet to show up to a poker game.
Can I be totally honest?
Yes.
I feel like you're giving me a pity invite.
I'm not. If you want to play, believe me, sometimes my games, we have like 6-7 people, and I could use more people. The more the merrier. So if you want to play, then
let me ask you this.
I just didn't know. Most of our friends who are girls don't really play poker, as far as I know.
No.
Because they can't.
So that's why. What's that?
Is that what you're saying?
I didn't hear it.
They're not good at doing math on the fly. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. That's what you're saying.
Is it the smaller brain thing that they have? Is that where I'm just trying to...
I don't know where you're getting that, pal.
From what you're saying.
What website you're reading that off of.
From the sexist remarks you're making.
All I'm saying is, as far as I knew, none of my female friends played poker. So why would I, it's like,
now,
if I'm going to play hockey, why would I invite everybody if I know that everybody doesn't play hockey?
Is that because you don't really talk to any of them?
Right.
What do you mean I don't talk to any of them?
Any of the female friends you have?
I talk to female friends.
I don't. I want nothing to do with them.
Except me.
Pity invite is right. Okay, now what is more sexist?
Pity invite.
Frank giving Janine a pity invite?
You know what? Now you're uninvited because of all this bullshit.
Or me and the rest of the guys not wanting her invited in the first place. Which one's more sexist?
See?
I think it's the pity invite.
I don't think so. You guys don't want her there in the first place. Plus,
Anthony.
I invited you. I put you you're in the text chain with all the poker people.
I don't want, listen to me. Frank, the answer is Frank's sexist, because I'll tell you why.
Okay. Okay.
I don't want her there because I don't want her to see her brother's testicles, which always makes an appearance at a poker game.
She just has to go through our text messages. They're all there. She gets them too. We see them once a week, if not, I mean.
That's true. Your brother did send a picture of his testicles to the group, which
it's. I don't want to say it's funny. I really thought that that can't be it, right? That can't be it. And then I'm like, it's my brother. It has to be it. Like,
you don't want to believe it, but it's there.
Yeah, right.
But you've been invited for the last how many months?
Few games. The last few games, I have. I just haven't been able to make it.
Well, I mean, are you planning on ever coming?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so then...
especially when your brother's father-in-law is a definite.
Is he back in New York?
He's around. He was there at the last game.
He was.
2 weeks.
He was.
Okay. Interesting.
You're in that poker text, so you could see.
You know which podcast episode I'm looking forward to? The one where Janine's marriage finally falls apart because of the poker game. That's the one.
Imagine I had sex with him at Frank's house.
I'm not facilitating that. If I there will be no shenanigans in my house.
There is a sex area in Frank's poker,
but it has to be reserved months in advance.
Well,
I'll just say this. Imagine that's kind of like a steamy situation, you know? Yeah.
Not for us.
No, it's steamy, and if you're talking about farts, it's steamy. It's pretty steamy in there.
Yeah, especially if my brother goes, right? Yeah, and your brother.
Be prepared for that. When you come to poker, it's a lot of farting, and I mean sports on the we're talking about. Most of the chatter is about the game. I have to say, most of the talking is about the game we're playing.
Shit talking each other.
A little, but not much. Okay. But I'm telling you, you're in on the texts. You can come. Open invitation anytime I have poker. You're on the text. You're there. Mm-hmm. I didn't know you were interested in it until you brought it up. So that's,
I'll be honest. I probably am the only female that has played ever with anyone.
So yeah, you're in.
But I do like gambling. So
I wonder, because we actually played J-Sab's trivia. I wonder who knows more about the females in our group, Frank or me.
Ooh.
What'd you say?
I'll answer that one for you.
Me?
I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I think so too. I don't know if I know that much more, because I'll just say this: as lovely as Frank is, he really does not give a shit about any of the people that we know.
That's not true.
It's very true.
Okay, maybe it's true. No, I love all my friends.
I didn't say that. I didn't say you didn't.
And I give a shit about them. If there was any issues or anything, I would be there to help. Whatever needs to be done, I'm always there.
What are you going to help? How are you going to help? By playing the guitar?
I don't know. They need a help. They need a hand. What are you going to do?
Somebody needs
give them a Viola T-shirt. What do you want?
I'm not the one here making outrageous claims. Unless somebody needs a killer guitar solo, I'm not quite sure what exactly it is you can provide.
Hey, if they need a killer guitar solo, I'll be there. That's fine.
Kill one.
I'll murder that guitar solo.
You know, it's funny. We've talked about our one cop friend who happens to have also a skill in, carpentry, would you say, and construction and electric. Like, he has so much to offer to the group. Everyone else has not really that much. And I would say Frank and I are on the lower end of that spectrum.
No.
I could offer. I could offer my services.
Like Janine's brother and her roommate maybe can fix a computer for you. Maybe. Yeah, they're just gonna say they restarted. But I'm trying to pump them up a little bit.
My brother can tutor your kids. He's a teacher.
Yeah, he can answer like a science question, or if you're like, hey, pray for my whatever, he can do that. You know, we have
Which
nothing.
saint should I pray to find my gold necklace from 1993? Hold on. That'll be Saint Maria. I don't know.
Wow. That's Saint Anthony.
Yeah,
that's okay.
He knows. I have no clue.
We could offer. We have. Well, I don't know about you.
Nothing.
I could do. things. I don't know what they are, but
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you're saying
I could drive people places if they need. What?
You're giving him a compliment and saying, Anthony, because you kept like crapping out. You gave him a compliment in saying that he can offer a lot because he knows how to do a lot of things, but the rest of the guys in the group suck.
Yeah, our one friend who's a cop and he knows carpentry and he knows how to be an electrician. He has a lot of helpful skills that are needed in a group of friends.
Agreed.
Your brother, your husband maybe can help fix a computer. That's really, your brother-in-law maybe can get you, if you ever needed a piece of heavy machinery, could help out there. Listen, it's not an everyday need, but sometimes you need to take a tree down, I guess, and he can maybe jump in and help out there.
I could paint a picture for someone.
Oh, that's true. You can paint.
I could create art for people.
I
made a theme song for you, asshole.
I didn't say you're not helpful to the podcast. That you're
a friend. You said in the friend group you needed something.
But I'm saying, like in a normal person's journey through life.
Well, if a normal person needs a theme song, I will write them a theme song. If one of our friends, J Sabs, if your husband needs a theme song, I'll write him a theme song. We'll call it The Roommate.
I like it.
Or you could call it, Have You Tried Restarting It?
That's a good one.
And could you restart it?
That's why I say to him when he was down there, I'm like, have you tried restarting it? No.
I can paint for people. Anybody needs, art or painting a wall.
Anthony's wrong, though.
Anthony's wrong how?
Because my brother and my roommate are actually very handy.
That's true. Your brother is working on his own house, right? He's been doing that for a long time.
Which my roommate,
I think we're coming up on the 13th anniversary of that house restoration there. And
then husband knows how to do some electric work, some plumbing work. Hold on. He laid down the tile in this room.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right.
And also computer stuff. And also cunnilingus.
I don't know if that's something he can share with the group.
It is. I would think that's a special talent. Do you not think?
If I decide to add a vagina, I'll give him a call and test him out and see how it goes. Sure, I'm open. Trump, McDougal, Melania. Next topic here. A couple of things. So, Karen McDougal, who is the first Stormy Daniels, as I like to say, the original Stormy Daniels,
the OG.
She banged Trump back in the day. Again, got paid off with a NDA, and nobody's heard from her at all. Then she wound up popping up in the arraignment yesterday, and then subsequently started trending, and then decided to give everybody a little bit of a gift, and snapped a photo on social media, put it out for everybody, and said, "Hope I didn't miss anything," was the caption.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is she involved in any of this?
She's not involved per se, but she's one of the cover-ups, one of the catch and kill stories. Right. That's part of the whole Trump lore, and she's back. By the way, so hot. Karen McDougal is so... Who's hotter? McDougal or Stormy Daniels? Let's go around the room.
I have to see McDougal. I don't remember.
I love this. Janina's already Googling. I can't, but I can't fault you. I didn't know what the hell Karen McDougal looked like either until she posted on her social media. So I'm not hating on anybody. It's been a while since we've seen Karen McDougal, but she's beautiful.
She looks like she could be Stormy Daniels' sister.
No. You think so?
The same rectangular face, kind of. No, but like if you put a blonde wig on McDougal, I feel like she kind of looks like Stormy, and a little bit, especially in this picture. It's a picture from BBC News. Can I show it?
Yeah, I'm about to put up her Instagram. Give me a sec here. So we'll see if the new little format works. Oh, that's tiny. You can't see that, can you?
Wow.
We got some kinks to work out in the new studio.
Yeah, this stuff. Yeah.
Awful Instagram, but I think she's cute. I think she's way
she's
hotter
good
than
looking.
Stormy Daniels.
She's good looking. Yeah, no.
It's weird because I kind of feel like porn is like the mafia. You don't ever really retire.
I don't know, but is that true?
You just gradually move down the
is there like the senior tour?
I think it's like being a golfer. Yeah, you just kind of all right. Time for me to go on senior tour now.
All right,
that's it. You know, but
I think McDougal's probably a little hotter, but they're both good-looking women.
No, because don't you think that you go from like regular porn to like MILF porn? Who's gonna turn Janine's mic on? Me or Janine? I'll do it. Nope, it has to be Janine.
How did she turn it off?
What were you saying?
Janine, your mic's off.
Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say the next thing you do is you go to MILF, stepmom or
yes, stepmom, MILF, and then I think for some reason,
best friend's mom.
I was just gonna say best friend's mom, and then like friend's aunt, like that.
That's along the same line as MILF, right? That's the same.
Yes, but I think the best friend mom and aunt is like 5 years older than MILF.
Oh yeah,
they're still. It's still. I feel like it's still in that category.
And then you just go right to granny porn, and it's just right to granny porn. Boy. Who are the sick bastards watching that stuff? I don't even. We don't like to judge here, but I'm a little. It's a little.
Hey, whatever gets you going there. As long as
it's a little hot.
As long as it's on the up and up.
Yeah.
Good.
Paul wants us to Google Elliot Brody. I don't know who that is.
Who's Elliot Brody?
Is Elliot as hot as Karen McDougal?
Elliot, let's see. Trump paid for abortion, and he got Elliot Brody to take the fall. Say it was him that did it.
Okay, I can't go flying down the.
That's gonna mid show. I don't know if we can go flying down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big one. Yeah.
But so what's the deal now with McDougal, Melania? What's going on?
So, all right. So McDougal came back. She popped up again, which is great because I love a McDougal come back. I feel like we're all Stormy Daniels right now. And I think that we need to make a little bit more room for Miss McDougal. Give her some space in all of this. You know what I'm saying? Let's get her back on. Who's the new
comeback?
Who's the new Ricky Lake? Who's the new Ellen? Who's the new Rosie O'Donnell? Which one?
Ricky Lake. I haven't heard that in like a long time.
Fuck is her name? Drew Barrymore. Let's get her on Drew Barrymore. Okay. We'll cry on the couch a little bit. We'll have a whole afternoon.
Why does she have? Great. Yes. Can I know why does every guest that come on cries with her?
I don't know. She's a weirdo. She is.
I haven't watched it. I think the only time I ever watched her show, and it's not like I wouldn't watch it. It's just I never see it. Is the only time I ever watched it? I was in a doctor's office and it was on the TV.
Would you watch it if it was hosted by a man?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because he would obviously host it better.
Right.
I knew Drew Barrymore was going to be okay when on like the first week she had Tom Green on as one of her guests. I'm like, this girl came to fucking play. She's like, yeah, that she knows how to get some fucking ratings. She's going to be A-okay.
I think Tom Green's due for a comeback and an Oscar.
That'd be nice.
A comeback and an Oscar this time around.
I would love that. Good idea, Frank.
Thank you.
So McDougal's is back. Good for her. Okay, let's talk about Melania. I thought it was weird that Melania wasn't in Manhattan with Trump. But I understand travel and whatever. Then I kind of thought it was weird that Melania wasn't back at Mar-a-Lago when he arrived there to give his speech at night.
So where is she?
Whoa.
And then the third weird part about it is not only was she not in New York, not at Mar-a-Lago, but her father was at Mar-a-Lago for the Trump speech at night.
Okay.
Oh,
don't you think that's a little weird?
Not for them. They don't seem like the big stand by each other kind of couple.
Yeah. Now nobody knows where she is. You know, there's like friends and sources talking about this is basically the only way she can keep her dignity, which is not being around in these moments when they're talking about how he paid this girl to be quiet after sex and paid that girl to be quiet after sex. You know, I don't think it's a fun thing for her to be a part of, so I get it. But I thought it was really strange because like part of his, here's the other thing. So most of his family was there. Eric and Don Jr. wasn't there, right? I don't know why he wasn't there. But Guilfoyle was there. Who's the girl?
Tiffany?
Not Tiffany. Tiffany, I think, was there.
Ivanka?
Ivanka and Jared, not there.
Ooh.
She is not playing. Now, they said that they were in Wyoming for... by the way, happy Passover, everybody.
Oh,
yeah.
Passover.
For Wyoming. Same thing. Same thing.
Happy Passover. Yes.
In Wyoming, it's all the same basic celebration. People are shooting guns up in the air. They're eating buffalo. You know, it's a whole thing.
Classic Wyoming.
Classic Wyoming. But yeah, that Ivanka is not fucking around with this guy anymore. She really isn't.
I don't blame her.
How hard is it to hop a plane and go back home and support your dad who's getting arrested, get back on a plane and go back again?
I mean,
what's she gonna do? She couldn't walk in with him, I don't think. Maybe she could have. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, Gary makes a good point. At least Marjorie Taylor Greene was there. Thank God for the little things.
Till she was there for about, I don't know, 4 minutes, and then got yelled right out of there.
Did you see that guy yelling at her?
Oh yeah, that was Michael Rappaport.
No. That's not a real thing.
That is a real thing.
He did that after he makes those videos all the time where he screams at people afterwards. He's never really there.
He was there. He was there.
He was there, but he wasn't there while she was doing that. He almost got into a fight with some other guy. Did you see that?
It was like a sound guy, wasn't it? Who worked for the media. Yeah, he was kind of like he had a boom mic in his hand.
That was him at the thing as she was walking in front of him.
Can I tell you something? I saw a split second of it before I skipped past it. I can't stand Michael Rappaport.
Oh, I know. I had enough of him. He's not even funny.
I have zero problem with him. Well, I don't know what all of his stuff, but every now and then he comes up with good shit.
I always thought he was okay and like every now and then that's kind of fun. Now I just can't. I can't watch any of it.
Why?
You know,
it's always the same thing. He's just screaming and he's angry and it's just. It's like I can't. It's the same shit all the time.
Yeah.
No. I'm fine with it.
It's soured for me. But yeah, so Ivanka not there, strange. But Melania not being fucking anywhere. Also, who's the center on the Trump family team? What's his name?
I haven't seen that kid in
Barron
forever.
Barron not there at all.
Right.
God knows where the hell he is.
Yeah.
No idea. So, you know what, though?
But don't you think it's weird that she wasn't there and her father was there?
Mm.
I think they come in and out as it's like it's a constant revolving door with these members of that family. It's just who's there, who's not. It's a different thing. It's a different variety of that family, depending on the day you're there. I don't know. Yeah, they should have probably, in a normal family, everybody should have been there, but this is the most abnormal family you can come up with.
CK, why would Barron be there to win the opening tip-off? That's why. I mean, come on, The
kid's like 9 feet tall.
He's huge. He's going to be a great basketball player. So that was the Melania part of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I had a Trump part of it now. I can't remember.
Well, I think it's all related to the Trump part.
But
true. Yes, thank you. But I think the Trump part of it all was I gave my feelings on this yesterday. I don't know if you guys wanted to chime in with your thoughts on the whole Trump indictment.
Well, I think
Why don't we let Janine go first, since yours is going to take 45 minutes?
Well, I was just about to say that.
Sorry,
jumped down my throat. I was saying to say, you know where I stand, so Janine, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think we have to listen to Frank talk about it because I think we know. Yeah,
just go back to every other episode of this show.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I actually was not home yesterday, so I didn't get to watch much.
But what do you think of the whole thing in general?
I feel like he's not the first politician to use his money, his campaign funds, not just for campaign issues.
How do you know that?
Because all politicians are crooked. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they are. But you have to prove that. You have to, plus it's not just a misuse, it's misfiling, it's his business filings. It's misrepresentation in his own business. It's so all like he kept the books incorrectly, basically. He lied in his business filings. 34 counts of felony charges, by the way.
I actually didn't read what they are. Is it?
It all has to do with this. It's 34 counts of the same kind of thing. In other words, he misrepresented his business filings, or he misfiled 34 times, basically.
But I feel like everybody does that on their taxes too. Come on, who doesn't say, "Oh, I gave this much to charity"? Okay, and what happened? No, you didn't.
Well, whether or not that's true, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars here. This is.
That's why he has money, and I have none. But it's true.
This is what it is. This is the law. So, all right, Frank, how do you feel about it? Because I can I guess how I would think you would feel. I would think you would be a little disappointed in the case, in the charges, because of how tough it's going to be for them to get a conviction in this.
I don't think so, but here's my thing. It might be a little tough, but I don't think these are the last charges that are going to be issued, in my opinion. I think you got 34 counts of whatever it was, misappropriation of funds, whatever it was. But I think there's going to be charges added as they go along. There's going to be another case opened. I don't think this is the last of it. So I think there's going to be more. I think this is case one in a line of cases that'll come in the future.
Ooh.
Well, that was the other reason why people were pissed. They were like, let the Georgia thing go first. Let the January 6th thing go first, because that you have a better shot at getting a conviction in those particular areas than you do with this one. So people who wanted to nail him were upset about Bragg going first.
I mean, if they've got enough evidence and they've got witnesses, they have. It also has to do. There was what was it? Because I'm not sure if it's part of this case, because there's other things coming up. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. You went through this yesterday. There was camera footage, security camera footage at Mar-a-Lago of him going through, because it also has to do with the documents that he said he had.
That's
rights.
Another one. Yes,
that's another part of it. So it's the same case.
Different case.
It's a different case. See, it's a different case. All right, that's another one. So there's that as well. And he claims, well, I have every right to look at those files. Not after a subpoena has been ordered. If you have a subpoena saying hand over the documents, then they're no longer your documents. You have to give them over. But he kept them, ignored the subpoena, and there's security camera footage of him going through the documents well after the subpoena was issued. So that's another problem.
Paul, and how is it tough? I'm going to try and move through this as quick as possible for people who didn't see last night. So what Alvin Bragg has done.
I watched it twice. Go ahead.
Stop it. This is a state issue. So Alvin Bragg said that, the three instances, Trump paid somebody who said he had a kid out of wedlock, Karen McDougal payment, and Stormy Daniels payment. All these people were paid off. He put it into the ledger incorrectly 34 times. That's how you get the 34 counts. Now, part of getting a conviction in this is proving that he misrepresented 34 times in an effort to conceal these issues to further his political career, which would be a violation of election law, which would elevate these misdemeanors into felonies, which is why they're felonies and not misdemeanors. If you don't have the political angle to this, these are just misdemeanors, right? Now they're felonies because of the political angle in it, with the fact that he, what's it called? Cohen didn't want to get paid back until after he won the election. But you have to prove. And by the way, the election law that Bragg is referring to, nobody knows what that is. I mean, still today, a whole 24 hours later, and legal experts still don't know which law exactly he's referring to. That's how much of a gray area there is. And so even if he can prove all that, you have to show that Trump had intent to defraud the people. He had intent to hide this for political gain in order to get elected, which is where most legal experts have the problem, because they're going to come out and say, and again, this was an example that John Bolton gave, the defense attorney, all he has to prove is reasonable doubt. So he can say, well, he did all these things not to become president of the United States, but because he was trying to hide these affairs from his wife. Now, if you can sell that idea to to the jury enough, he gets off. He gets acquitted. So that's why people are so. It's a very strange set of circumstances. It's not like, did he kill the guy? Did he not kill the guy? It's not as clear cut as that. It's
no.
Did these 3 instances of paying people off, which were recorded 34 separate times in business documents in the state of New York, were they set up in order to, hide, to get him elected president? Now, so anybody with a brain would be like, yeah, sure, that sounds plausible. But you have to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt. You have to prove it with reasonable doubt. So that's not going to be an easy thing to do. That there's a lot of easy defenses there.
Yeah, maybe. But what would Melania, why would you have to put that in your books to, it's not like Melania is going through the Trump organization's books going up, here's the payment of Stormy Daniels. It's like, why would she, you're covering it up. It's your business. It's not personal funds.
Because you can say, funds. But you can say, I'm covering it up. I'm trying to hide it from my wife. I'm covering it up. That's why you're covering it up. That's why the payments were there. That's why you put them down that's why you misrepresented them as legal expenses when they were hush money payments, because I didn't want my wife to find out I was banging Karen McDougal behind her back.
Well, here's where that defense falls through.
Allegedly.
Here's where the defense for that falls apart when Trump goes, I never had an affair with any of these people. Mm-hmm. Trump, he comes out on video and wherever, and on his Truth Social, I never slept with the horse-faced Stormy Daniels, and I never had an affair, blah, blah, blah. So his own words kind of screwed him there if you're going with I was hiding my affairs from my wife, because he's claiming he never had an affair.
I don't know.
It's called disclosure, you
dickhead.
If he came out and said, yeah, I fucked up. I slept with this woman and I was trying to cover it up because I wanted to save my marriage. He could have said that. Obviously he didn't. He said, no, I never had an affair with this woman. I never slept with Stormy Daniels. I don't know what he said about McDougal, but I know he said I never slept with Stormy Daniels. So, I mean, if he's going with that defense, he would have to then say, well, yeah, I did sleep with Stormy Daniels, which he's not going to do. So,
yeah, I don't know. Now, Paul is saying that Bragg doesn't bring up cases he can't win. He's not stupid. I did read something today that he had a tough, tricky case kind of like this, where it was like, oh, it was a little hard, and he won it. And I said this last night too. In his press conference, he said he had some new evidence and an extra witness that none of the other prosecutors had.
Ooh.
He won't say what that is yet. And again, all this stuff, that's what a trial is for. An indictment is not to win your case. The trial is to win the case. So Maybe he does have it, but a lot of people feel like he probably doesn't.
Well, that's, you know, everybody's speculating. Nobody knows what he's got. Nobody. All you go on, you know, Republican or Democrat, they're going, oh, he has it. He doesn't have it. We don't know anything that he has. We don't know his witnesses. We don't know what he has in this case. So maybe he does have something. Maybe he doesn't. But we're not going to find out until he brings it into trial. Which, when does any of that start? I mean, he was arrested and indicted yesterday. When does everything kick off?
December 4th.
Stop.
Nope.
Are you
Legit.
serious?
December 4th is the next time they appear in court.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
Holy shit.
All these
things
things take
time?
such a long time.
What takes a long time?
Because it's not, I think because
I guess I got to pick a jury.
Yeah, and also it's not a real like pressing important case. It's not like it's a murder.
It's not a murder.
And
but
even
I feel
that
like
takes some time.
And I feel like this is the court of public, you know, public interest. I feel like this is probably the big. I'm sure they don't operate that way, but it's again, yeah, it's not a murder of the century or anything.
Yeah, and again, I judge it by how many people who want to see this guy go down, who are like, holy shit, I'm concerned that this is not going to be, you know, that he's not going to win. He's not going to be Bragg is not going to be able to win this.
But we again, that's one of those, we don't know what he has. You know, you can't say he's not going to win this without seeing any of the evidence. It's literally, we've seen nothing. The only stuff we've seen is what was on the news. The check. What's his name already went to jail for it. His lawyer went to jail for how many years for it? 3 years he was in jail.
But again, it's not about did he fuck another woman and lie about it. That's not it. I
understand that.
It's a very nuanced issue that he has to prove.
I understand. But then what did Cohen go to jail for?
I don't know exactly what he went to jail for. I don't know what his case was. I don't know
the exact charge, but he was in jail. It had to do with this case, and he paid, paying back Stormy Daniels and whatever that whole thing was. He was in jail for 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly the count was that he got convicted on. I don't know. You're looking it up?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, because we thought it was a tax thing. Because remember, I played that clip of Giuliani going, "Oh, he paid it back," like admitting that Trump paid back Cohen. I thought, oh, is this like a tax thing then? But that's not what Bragg was going for. It says nothing to do with the taxes, as far as we can tell.
At justice.gov, Michael Cohen pleads guilty. This was in 2018. Michael Cohen pleads guilty in Manhattan federal court to 8 counts, including criminal tax evasion and campaign finance violations. So, and then there's a huge, freaking thing about it. But, and he was sentenced to 3 years in prison. So this is all, it's the same case. It's his lawyer. So I don't know how, like I'm sure he what's his name? Bragg has more than we know. Where he's aware of more evidence than we're aware of, I'm sure.
He had better.
Because if he's going in with just what we have, I don't know. But why would he? Why it took a long time for him.
But it's just it's like poker, right? You talk about outs. How many outs do you have to win? If the defense has a lot of outs to defend the case, that's not necessarily a case that you want to take against a former president. Right. Which, by the way, we all know it is politically motivated because I saw a statistic today that the amount of times that these ledger things are tried there's not a lot. It's a lot. You're going to get a lot more in New York than in Wyoming because of the amount of businesses that just are conducted here. But it's not something that is, chased after all that often. But hey, if he's got something,
though, this is having to do with political.
The felony part, though, is the only that's the only weird thing. It's a misdemeanor. The only that makes these misdemeanors felonies is tying it into the election law, which we still don't know which law that is.
Which is when all of this came up, is when he started running and this is when all this shit went down. So it's like I feel like there's probably something tying everything into this. So,
Paul says, "Who cares if it's a former president?" I know people hate Trump. I can't say this enough, though. It is a big deal because you're setting a bad precedent. Right? Setting a bad precedent because a lot of these people we don't want to have every single one of these people going up for trial.
Why not?
After their term every single time around because then we will have we'll be arresting every fucking president for the next 20
arrest
years.
Them. That's fine. If they're doing this, if they're
I don't know.
law,
I don't think that's the country that you really want to live in, though.
Well, then our presidents are just going to keep going on, and whoever's going to be corrupt is going to be corrupt, and nobody's going to care. So we're always talking about how we want honest people doing this, and politicians are so corrupt, nobody does anything about it. Finally, something's being done about it, and everybody's like, "Well, this is a bad precedent."
Right,
how could we hold people accountable?
Okay, but here's why. Let's talk about this case in particular. Nobody died, right? Nobody.
It's not a murder. It shouldn't be.
But nobody was shortchanged. And be honest. I want you to be honest. If you could honestly answer this question, if it came out before the election that he paid for sex and had his lawyer pay it off and cover it up, do you think he would have lost? Can you honestly say for certain that would have cost him the election?
I have no idea. I don't, I doubt it because nothing he did seemed to matter. He could do whatever, he said his own words where I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and no one would, and I wouldn't lose a single vote. So
that's right.
Good point. So my point is, even if it was politically motivated, it's not going to stop anything. It didn't, this is all. My point is, if every president does something like this, then every president should be held accountable. I don't care who the president is.
So it wouldn't have changed anything. Sorry, Paul, wrong one. CK. He wouldn't have lost. The Access Hollywood tape had come out before this. Yeah, that was the most hilarious part of the whole damn thing. He became president. The other guy lost his job.
Right.
I mean, the guy said horrific. The guy was. He could say anything, do anything negative, and the people who are going to vote for him are going to go, "Oh, that's just Trump being Trump."
Right. Like, and that's the point, because listen, I know.
So that's not.
God knows what Biden has done, and this is just an example. But do we want Biden on trial after his fucking presidency?
If he broke the law, I don't care. What is the problem with holding
Biden or his body double? Hold on, get that straight.
Oh boy. What is the problem with holding
there is no problem
for breaking the law? I don't understand why everybody has such a big problem with that.
There is no problem, but I mean, let's not pretend like we don't live in a world where you get pulled over on the highway for doing 69 in a 55 and the cop goes, "All right, get out of here."
Yeah, that happens.
So this is the business equivalent of that.
Is it?
It is. This is
hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is campaign finance violations. This is not a speeding ticket.
Listen, we just want to see him go down because he's a scumbag piece of shit who cheats on his wife and has other people take the fall for paying those people off. He's not a great person. And that's why everybody wants to see him go to prison. But this may not have been the one to take a swing at.
Well, we're taking a swing. And if this swing doesn't work, there are plenty of swings coming.
There are 4 other swings.
Yeah, I think there's going to be more coming down the road. What were the other things?
The other 3 things are the Georgia election, January 6th, and you said it before. What was the...
I can't remember. My brain is shot. What was the other freaking thing?
I don't know.
Whatever. Another thing. The 4th thing.
Yeah. A lot of chances. A lot of
stuff coming.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, here you make a good point. I'm not mad at you. Like you're making a good point. Like we have to hold people accountable.
Yes, E. Jean Carroll. Thank you. His sexual assault cases, his rape, and these are not little things.
Actually, I think that was another one. I feel like we're still missing one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But here's my point. This fucking Hunter Biden is still selling artwork yesterday. Right?
Investigate it. I'm not against investigating.
I know you're not. But I'm saying a former president gets arrested for the first time in history, and our current president's son, who is definitely up to no good selling his artwork for $500,000, is not stopping in the least bit. It's not going to curb their behavior.
I'm for investigating it. I don't know how many times I could say investigate Hunter Biden.
No, I know you are. It's not about you.
Rip him apart. Go through everything.
It's not about you. My point is he's still out there selling artwork at his bullshit galleries. Who in their right mind is really shelling out $500,000 to this guy for his artwork that isn't expecting something else in return? I don't never believe any different. I don't care what anybody tells me.
I don't know. See, we're all operating under I believe this, I believe that. So we don't know. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So that's why everything should be investigated. And that's fine. I have no problem with that.
Kid Rock has lost his mind. Did you see the Kid Rock video?
Yeah, he's batshit.
No, what did he say?
Kid Rock was on Twitter yesterday. I think.
Yesterday or the day before, yeah.
Yesterday or the day before. And he's wearing a white MAGA hat, which I didn't realize actually. It took me 6 times watching the video to realize he was wearing a MAGA hat. But he said he said something about grandpa's feeling angry today or something. And then the camera pans over and he unloads a semi-automatic weapon on 3 or 4 cases of Bud Light. Now I watch this and I go, why is Kid Rock shooting up Bud Light? Because
it's so stupid.
Yeah, he's a transphobic, bigoted asshole. That's why.
Oh, tell me how you really feel.
I will thank so much for my setup then.
I'm sorry. Did you have something to say? I'm so sorry.
I was gonna put jokes in and make it fun for everybody.
Okay. Do jokes.
I was gonna say, did he taste one and that's why he got so mad? Because I get that. Not as good now.
Damn. Sorry.
See what you did?
You got to give me a little gesture or something when you're gonna when you're setting something up.
I was talking. I thought that was a tip.
No, that doesn't do it. I'll talk I'll steamroll right over you.
Well, anyway, so I watched it and I thought and then I at a corner of my mind remember and listen, I barely read the story that was it a transgender person or whatever, the Bud Light made a deal with a transgender influencer or something. I didn't even read the whole thing.
Transgender influencer, yes.
Because I'll be honest with you, unless it's Dave Matthews,
oh god,
or Bert Kreischer, I don't give a shit. All
right, you think Bert Kreischer is funny?
Oh, very funny, very funny. You don't think Bert Kreischer's
shirt off?
Yes.
Yeah, but that's not why he's funny.
That's why I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen any of his stuff. I just know that he takes his shirt off, and I can't
that's his biggest problem. But go ahead, Janine.
He was a guest on the Chris DiStefano podcast, and I'll be honest, he bored me.
Really?
I was like, oh my god. And maybe I saw him do his stand-up a couple of times, but now there's a new one, right, on Netflix.
It's very funny.
I'm gonna try to watch it, but I don't think I'm gonna like it. I know I'm already going in with but
okay.
He was boring on the show, and I like every guest he has on.
You have a bad taste in your mouth, so I don't know if I could turn it around. But watch the. What did you say?
I said that's what she said.
Watch the first one you should watch is where he tells the Russian mafia story, the machine story.
Okay.
And then the last 2 that he did on Netflix, Razzle Dazzle, and I don't know what the other. So my wife was watching Razzle Dazzle for a second or third time the other day.
Really?
As she was like doing stuff around the house. Yeah, because we watched it, and then I caught her watching him a couple times after that.
Did she cover it up like she wasn't watching? Like, oh, you're home early.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's basically cheating. He's a funnier, wealthier version of me. I mean, it's not. It's hurtful, but I try and let her get some joy in her life.
Probably seen his bare chest more than yours.
Yeah, definitely, 100%, 100%. But interesting, J-Sabs, one of Bert's early podcast guests was Chris Stefano. He basically put Chris Stefano on the map.
Oh, really?
The first time I saw Chris Stefano was on Bert's podcast.
Well, now I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
I didn't see this latest round around. I have seen the two of them kind of, throw a dud before, but they're both very, very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but anyway, that's really the point is like, I wasn't excited about the transgender Bud Light person. I'm happy for him. Great. But I don't give a fuck. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't give a shit. I'm sure there's transgender people or, whoever that was totally excited that it went out and bought Bud Lights. At the end of the day, that's all they're fucking trying to do. It's like, oh, can we move a couple more shitty beers to this particular group of people? Great.
Bud Light isn't a shitty beer.
I mean, come on. But now you got this fucking dumb animal who's out there and he's
a dickhead
giving his little speech and he shoots the can. Like, I mean, this is fucking crazy ass behavior. No?
Yeah, it is.
It's possible.
He's such a dick.
Let me go back to the beginning. Sorry. we're probably gonna get in trouble for playing this.
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today.
That doesn't even look like him, by the way.
All you and be
like Dr. Phil.
As clear and concise as possible.
Yeah, so I mean, I know
because you have a problem with transgender people. Grow the fuck up. You're
like, I guess that's my question. How do you do something like this without just blatantly coming off like a transgender hating asshole?
Because he is. I think he has no problem being seen as that. Because I don't know. He's
what does he care? I don't get it.
He's that's a terrible thing to do. It's a whole community of people that you just said fuck you to, and for what? Because you're a bigoted transphobic asshole.
When you hate someone and they get an opportunity, I understand having angry feelings about that. That's how I felt every single time Kathy Griffin got a job. Like every time she got a job, I felt the same way. But I didn't go shooting up a Kathy Griffin poster.
Yeah, it's true.
Put it on the fucking internet.
No, you didn't do that.
She's so annoying.
The worst.
But that's like one. This is like you have. What's wrong with this asshole? What is his problem with transgender people? I have no.
I don't know, and I feel like we've lost. Like I say this a lot. It's sad. I like Kid Rock music. Like I saw Kid Rock one time in concert. I was fucking blown away by the guy. I really was. He was amazing. Super talented musician.
He could go fuck himself.
But it's weird. I don't know. I get sad when you lose people to the bullshit of now. Like nobody's gonna care about this. The transgender influencer who got a Bud Light deal, I forgot about it 3 seconds after I read it. 2 weeks from now, nobody's gonna care. But we'll always remember this.
Being a huge asshole.
We'll always remember this. It was the same thing with Chelsea Handler. She was so fucking funny. She had great shows and all this stuff. And then when Trump got elected, that's all she could focus on. And we lost the funny Chelsea Handler forever. It's like,
I never really knew Chelsea Handler that well before.
She was really, she had her show on E was so good. Then she did the E show on Netflix and that was good, and it's like, didn't he fucking write, didn't Kid Rock write like a fucking America First song or some bullshit a couple of weeks ago. I remember listening to it thinking, this is fucking terrible.
I don't know. I mean, the worst people could be talented at something, and I don't, I don't want to. If he has good songs, I really don't care. He's an asshole. You know what I mean? He's to be like this, to be this angry. I mean, what is the threat to you, Kid Rock? What is a transgender person representing Bud Light? How does that threaten you? I mean, what are you afraid of? Is this something personal to you? Why does this person getting an opportunity with Bud Light piss you off so much?
Yeah. If I had to guess, like if I had to pick a way, all right, if you call Anthony the strategist into the room afterwards and you lay down $3 million on the table, I'll take this case. But if you're asking me like, hey, how do you get out of this? I would say, and this is what my guess would be, which is probably going to do, because any smart person would tell him to do this, would be to don't make it about transgender, make it about woke culture. Say you were doing this in response, which I guarantee you, as we're sitting here, he's going to be like, it had nothing to do with the fact that she's transgendered. I just don't like this woke culture. It's going to be this whole, I'm not homophobic, but I'm not wearing the pride jersey during warm-ups. It's part of this whole new thing that we're doing where you're just being in direct conflict from your actions. But if you say the nice thing after the fact, then nobody wants to fucking, nobody wants to bother with you after that.
I'm with Paul on this one. I think that's what happened.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm sorry. What did Paul say?
Caps, all caps.
Go ahead, start reading it out.
He said, Frankie, he obviously picked up a trans hooker and liked it. He's deflecting. That's possible. That is highly possible, and that's a good theory.
We've all been there. You shake it off. You just say, hey, that was a weird outing. What are you gonna do?
No need to be a giant freaking nut job on social media.
Hey, even the years that the Yankees win the World Series, they wind up losing 24-1 against Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have those nights where you go, it was just one of those times. Let's move on. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and trans hookers are people too. You want to be with a trans hooker, that's your business. That's all good.
Well, I don't think he wanted to be. That's what Paul's joke is.
Yeah, I think he wanted to be, and he liked it. So, and now he's ashamed of it because he's a dick. How does this? No matter how you spin it, this is how it comes off. It comes off as him having a problem with a trans person. If it was any other person, he wouldn't have a problem with it. But because the person's trans,
yeah,
that's where his problem is, and so that makes him a transphobic
dickhead.
Asshole.
Oh, like that too.
Well, dickhead's good too.
It all works.
Right. Yeah, Hugh Grant. If Hugh Grant wanted to be, hey, no judgment. You want to be?
Don't drag Hugh Grant into this. Hold on. Oh, because of the transgender thing. I thought it was because he gave what's her name a hard time a couple weeks ago.
There's no shame in being with anybody that's trans. There's really not.
When you get a hooker, do you ask before, or do you just wait to find out until you reach down there?
I don't know how that works. You'll tell me the next time you go get a hooker.
Are you saying you don't get hookers?
I'm saying I don't get hookers.
All right, you passed the test. I thought I could trick you.
Good try.
Thought I could get you to answer that one.
What you did get me to answer it. I don't get hookers.
Not the answer that I wanted to clip and send to your wife.
I got you.
I'm just trying to finally figure out a way for her to get out of this nightmare, cleanly, without what?
What nightmare?
Your marriage?
Being married to me?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know how she does it, but the woman's a saint. The woman is a saint. She's married to me. She's a strong woman.
She's a strong, dude. Strong woman that's the tip of the iceberg. That's just part of it. Then we
love each other. It's all good. What's the Biden challenger?
I will say the QAnon people almost got it right. You remember they were saying how John F. Kennedy Jr. was going to come back and be the president?
Okay.
Remember that whole fun thing?
All right. Who came back to life?
Nobody came back to life, but it was Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has filed paperwork with the Federal Election Commission today, officially launching his campaign for the 2024 presidential election. He registered as a Democrat, so he will challenge Joe Biden in a Democratic primary.
Let's see what he's got. I don't know him from anybody, so we'll see.
So Robert, John, they were close. It was a Kennedy Jr.
But they also said that he would, team up with Trump and they'd be all, but all they got right was that a Kennedy was coming.
Well, it's still early. Listen, Trump is friends with Vince McMahon. The fact that Trump would flip parties and come out in the Democratic primary against Biden would be the all-time WWE move.
Yeah, how do you?
It would be great. It would be great. And then he would hit Stone Cold Steve Austin in the head with a chair, and we would all go crazy. I would love it.
He'd get about half a vote, Trump, if he wanted to be the Democratic candidate. I think it would be the record for least amount of votes.
I want Trump to go as an independent. I would love to see Trump, DeSantis, Biden, Robert Kennedy Jr.
That would be great because then you'd have...
Let's get Hillary in there. Fuck it.
You'd have DeSantis and Trump splitting the Republican vote, and Biden would win in a landslide.
What if you had Hillary and Biden going against each other? That'd be great.
That would be something.
If you put those four douchebags together, who do you think would win?
I got to go Biden again, either because
that's crazy. Trump would win.
Yeah, Trump wouldn't win. He's not winning anything.
If you had Biden splitting a ticket, it would be... I think it would be Trump. Now, there was a Rasmussen poll today that said Trump was up 10 points over Biden.
Say again?
There was a Rasmussen poll that came out today that said Trump was up 10 points over Biden.
Yeah, but there were also polls that said Hillary was going to win. And
that's true, there were.
So who knows?
I think it's the cool thing to say right now that he's doing so much better after this arrest, but that's just me. By the way, Robert Kennedy Jr., not the first Democrat to go in. Marianne Williamson has already declared that she's going to run as a Democrat.
Who?
Marianne Williamson. She's a self-help guru. Never heard of her.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that I feel like that's my neighbor. I have a neighbor. What's her name? Marianne what?
Marianne Williamson.
Yeah, she's across the street from me.
She's good.
She's nice.
A lot of books. A lot of self-help books.
Yeah, good for her.
This is obviously JFK's nephew. This is the son of Robert Kennedy. He was most recently made famous for being a prominent anti-vaccine activist.
And she's running as a what?
Marianne's running as a Democrat.
Oh, and who? And she was the vaccine activist,
No. Robert Kennedy is an anti-vaxxer.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's not going to look good for him among the Democrats.
Forbes has put out a list of the richest billionaires.
Are we on them? Are we on that list?
No, we didn't make the list.
Damn it.
Can you imagine this?
Maybe next year.
Imagine this shit. You finally make Forbes list of the richest people, and then they go, well, let's come out with the richest billionaires list. And now you're like, motherfucker, I just worked my ass off to make $450 million and come in at 326 on this Forbes richest list, and now there's a fucking better list that I'm not on.
I feel like, what was it, 450 million? I feel like that's not even close to being on. I feel like if you're worth 450 million overall in the world, you're probably like 2000th richest person. You're probably way down the list.
You're probably
There's so
right.
many billionaires and so many multimillionaires. I don't think you're anywhere near it.
Again, I am not a socialist, although this is going to come off sounding an awful lot like that. But it's just not good to have this many billionaires. They can't physically put that money back out into businesses. They can't put that money back out into rotation. It just cannot be done. Maybe if you're 1 or 2 billion, 3 billion, 5 billion, okay, maybe you can run enough businesses in your day to employ enough people to keep the whole damn train running around. But when you're sitting on like some of these people, 114 billion, like how you cannot, that money is gone. It's dead money. It's not moving anywhere. It's not doing anything.
Because what are they gonna do with it? You know, they're just gonna sit on it. They'll spend some of it. They're not gonna spend anywhere near all of it.
You can't. You cannot spend. I mean, listen, if that money's going to sit in a bank and the bank is going to lend it out and pay off interest and do all that stuff, of course. But it's just you can't spend it.
Yeah.
No matter how many yachts and people you employ for your own private, you just can't spend $114 billion.
I could spend it.
Just give it. You got to start giving that shit away.
Give it away. Charities. Set up. See, you know, if you have billions and billions of dollars, you don't know so much money that you can't conceivably spend it in your lifetime. Wouldn't you like take a bunch of it and stuff that you're never going to touch, and just like, I don't know, put it back into some kind of into civilization? You know, build up places that need it. I don't know. I mean, how much money is enough money for you?
That's the thing. You can, if you have $114 billion, you can literally peel off $30 billion, put it into one account for your children. Your children's great grandchildren will still never run out of that money.
They're going to be set.
Just off of interest alone.
Yeah.
And you can give the rest away and do some philanthropic good.
Yeah. You can.
And people just don't do it.
Yeah. Buy yourself the yacht. Fine. But that's not going to put a dent in your billions and billions. It's not going to do, you know, how much could the biggest yacht be? Let's say it's 100 million.
Yeah.
That's still not putting a dent in your $150 billion.
Vanessa watching on Facebook. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the Facebook peeps. It would be fun to give it away to be that rich. Listen, Mr. Beast has made a living off of just giving away money.
How does he have all that money? Holy cow.
I'll tell you how he's brand deals. Just brand deals.
But how do you get to that? Like, you start out, what is he starts out giving away $100 here, $100 there, and then it just builds and builds and builds.
That's exactly how he did it.
Yeah. And he's just giving away millions now. Every video he's got, all right, he gave away, I saw a video, he gave away a private jet. All you had to do was keep your hand on it. It was one of those, you know, last person standing.
That's an old radio gag, too.
Yeah.
He's literally doing old bullshit radio gimmicks.
Exactly. And the last person standing, you know, they would move the jet. You got to walk along with it. You know, it would be like hours and hours and hours. And the last person wins the jet. It's like, they just have all that money and you're just making these videos. And those videos are just going to make you more money. That's insane.
Yeah. What's crazy is he's still doing it. Like, he could have at some point just kind of kept all this shit and kept making. He could have started a podcast. He could have been doing this, still banking all that money, but he's still just giving it away. He's an interesting cat.
He did. I saw he did he played rock, paper, scissors with The Rock. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't.
So he met The Rock at some red carpet thing. He played rock. He goes, if I win, I will give $100,000 to your favorite charity. If you win, you have to do it to my charity. And I think he ended up doing it for both or something like that. Like he played rock, paper, scissors. I think he won or something. I don't remember how it turned out, but he ended up paying they both ended up donating or something, whatever.
Mm. But that's my point, though. Like, if you are this billionaire and you want to give away your money on YouTube, do what Mr. Beast does, and you will get all sorts of fame and notoriety, you know,
Sure
which
would.
I think is what billionaires really want at the end of the day. They want people just to think that they're a big deal.
I guess. Then again, there are billionaires, you have no idea who they are.
Mm.
They're just, you know, secluded somewhere and on their yacht or on their planes, and they just don't give a shit about anybody else.
Like the dude who's number one on the list who moved past Elon Musk.
How much is he worth?
Bernard Arnault, ANRAULT, and family $211 billion.
That seems like enough. That should tide you over for the winter.
He's French. He oversees LVMH and an empire of 75 fashion and cosmetic brands, including Louis Vuitton and Sephora.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That Sephora is expensive as fuck. I started buying my niece shit from there and gift cards and stuff. I'm like, here's a $50 gift card. I take her to the mall. She comes out with one thing. I go, you saving the rest of it? She goes, no, this is it. I'm like, what? That's it?
That's crazy.
She goes, yeah, you cheap bastard. I only got one thing. She's like, fuck, I would have given you $100 gift card if I knew you only got one thing.
No, you wouldn't have.
That's true. I wouldn't have. Elon, number 2 at 180 bill. Jeff Bezos, 3 at 114 billion. Larry Ellison is 4 at 107. Warren Buffett is 5 at 106.
Jeez.
That Warren Buffett, he's just above Bill Gates at 104. You know, they both pledged they were going to give all their money away before they died. That was like 10 years ago, and this motherfucker still has 106 billion. What's going on, Warren? What are you doing?
Well, he hasn't died yet. So.
He hasn't died. But again, I say, you could say, okay, we're not going to trust this. We're not going to touch this 20 bill. But this 80 bill, we're going to give away really fast over the next 5 years. I mean, how has that not happened yet?
I don't know. I do not know.
When do you want that to happen, Frank? When you're dead, or when you could show up at the dinner and be like, gave you guys $1 billion. Let's have a fucking chicken parmesan together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's part of the joy of it all.
Go for a nice chicken parmesan.
Right? A little chicken franchise action.
No, parmesan. You had me at parmesan.
Okay. Well, I shouldn't have gone. I should have stopped where it was.
Damn it.
As far as like our famous celebrities, Kanye fell off of the list of billionaires because of all the bullshit. I think it had something to do with the Hitler comments.
Maybe. We'll look into that.
Rihanna is a billionaire.
Oh, yeah. She was a billionaire. Gotta be more than a year now.
Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, and Jay-Z have all risen on the list. Rihanna was number 35. She was originally 2002. She's now up to number 35, richest person, $1.4 billion.
So again, that seems like enough money.
Kim is now worth $1.2 billion. Oprah, Steven Spielberg, Michael Jordan, all on the billionaire list. I think that's really it. That's all the interesting things on this.
That's a lot of billionaires. How many people on the billionaire list?
That's a good question. Kim's sister, Kylie Jenner, was knocked off the list, having been on it in 2019 when she was given the title of youngest self-made billionaire in the world.
Yeah, and everybody had a little problem with that self-made title. Like self-made, really?
Oh, because her sister had to suck a dick for her to become popular enough to do it.
Yeah, so you were unheard of before you became a billionaire. Sure.
That's true. How many people? Great question, Frank. Let's scroll down the old list. By the way, hat tip to Forbes for not being like, you want to read the rest of this article, pay $3.99.
Yeah, screw that shit.
Okay, I'm up to 195 and we're still at 9.6 billion.
Damn. That's a lot of billionaires. This is worldwide though, right?
This is worldwide. Yeah, like the guy who's number 1 is from France.
But still, that's still a lot of billionaires.
Uh-oh, it's going in chunks of 200s.
Oh boy.
Hold on, this could take a while.
All right, so there's a lot. There's a lot of billionaires out there. We get it.
All right, well, let me just see where I'm at. I'm up to 591, and that person has 4.6 billion.
Yeah, so.
Oh, okay, here we go. There's over 2,000.
Over 2,000 billionaires.
So I'm at the end of the list. Inigo Zobel from the Philippines has $1 billion. Number
good for him.
2,540.
Good for him.
See, this is a lot of people. Zhang Gongyun, Richard Yingling. Is that the beer guy? Oh yeah, I think it is.
Hey, good for him.
Okay, so there's the first recognizable one, the beer guy.
You think it's just based off the beer? I'm sure he has a few investments.
He probably got a few investments, but the Yingling is pretty big. By the way, Richard, it goes by Dick. Dick Yingling. How about that for a name?
Dick Yingling. That's a name. If you're going to be a billionaire, you call yourself whatever you want.
That's true. It's kind of crazy to see some of the like he lost $400 million in the last 2 years.
Well, let's see. Yeah, 400 million. That's a lot. If you just have $1 billion, that's almost half your money.
Yeah. Do you think do you panic over something? I couldn't imagine panicking. I
mean, you have 600 million left, but still, I'd panic a little if I lost half my worth, half of my money. Yeah, that's something to get out of bed a little earlier for.
Right. A couple of quick hits here before we go, Frank. So bought tickets for my son to go to the Islander game tomorrow night.
Right.
Parents came in from Florida. I thought this would be a great chance to have 3 generations go to the hockey game. I'm into stupid shit like that. I'm very big on that. Bought the tickets, whatever. StubHub, you ever buy shit off of StubHub?
Sure.
So you don't get the tickets from them. You get the tickets from the person who listed it.
Right. Yeah, it's a seller. It's like eBay.
They just facilitate it. So guy says he sends the tickets on Saturday. No tickets. Call up Monday. They tell me to call back tomorrow. They escalate it. They email the seller. Nothing. I call back Tuesday. I tell the guy, you said to call back. He's like, yeah, not yet. Call back tomorrow. Okay, call back today. They said the seller said he sent the tickets. He didn't send the tickets. All right, whatever. So then finally,
these are physical tickets, not
they're virtual tickets.
And he said he sent them.
So he claims that he sent them and they were claimed. But the last person I spoke to, they were like, well, I don't think he's showing tickets were claimed, but they're not the tickets that you bought. Like the last person I talked to finally got it. She was like, there's something wrong here. So they guarantee you to get into similar tickets or better.
Okay.
Which I was like, all right. So they wind up getting me new tickets and I got them instantly and I was great. And so the girl goes, I also included something else for your trouble. And I was like, okay. Because the tickets are not necessarily better. I mean, I think they are a little better.
Equivalent somewhat.
But they're equivalent. Yeah.
Right.
They were really nice about it, which is interesting because the last time this happened to me, which it turned out I wound up getting the original tickets I bought. The last time this happened to me, the woman on the phone, I was on my way to the game and the woman's like, there's no more tickets available for what you paid, so because at the time I think I bought the tickets for $50 a piece. But then the game had gotten so popular that particular date, the prices skyrocketed. So they were like, we're not going to buy you $150 tickets, even though I was sitting in the low thing at $50 a piece. They're like, we're not going to, she's like, there's nothing comparable left. She's like, so I can just give you your money back. And I'm like, you said you'd get me into the game. But they're like, yeah, but it's going to be, I'm like, you said better, equal or better.
Yeah. Better is part of it.
Yeah, and she was like,
"What happened there?"
She was like, "It ain't gonna happen." I wound up finding the tickets. It was like very deep into. They didn't send them when they said they sent them, so I hadn't gone that far back in my spam folder. So when I did, I got them. Anyway, it's not interesting. So anyway, she's like,
"I got it."
So this one goes like, "Oh, something. It'll pull something for you." And I'm like, "Oh, what would you think that would be?"
Like a food package or something, like free.
Okay.
Or a hat or some bullshit. I don't
know. How roughly value? How much you think?
$50.
Like a $50 thing.
Yeah.
Turns out it's a gift card for StubHub. Okay. $2.
Get the hell out of here. She said that over the phone to you with a straight face?
No, she didn't say it to me. She goes, I included a little something for your troubles. And then when I look, and I wasn't looking for that because now I'm looking to get the new tickets. I see the thing and it is a $2 gift card.
Well, that is a very little something. That's a little something for you.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Maybe she forgot to put a 0 on it or something. Maybe it was supposed to be $20. What the hell is that?
Let me see if I could block out the contents.
$2.
I just want to make sure that you can't see any. Oh, I'm going to wind up showing the. All right, wait, let me screenshot this. Hold on. Let me do it this way. Yeah. I mean, $2.
What the hell is that? Did you call her back? I hope you called her back.
No, I honestly,
It's a free thing. It could have been nothing.
Could have been not. I mean, but it is
That's
the
hilarious.
The point of hysteria where I'm like, you might as well have just given me nothing. I mean, to be totally honest with you.
Yeah, or don't even mention it. Why would you even
mention?
I gave you a little something. It's like, what?
A little something for you. Oh my God. Oh, okay.
Don't tell anybody. I can get in big trouble here.
Because that to me is a sweet thing. You don't have to do that. You already did the thing of getting me into the.
It's true. Yeah, you don't have to do anything. Yeah, you're right. There could have been zero. Given, she didn't have to give you a thing.
Didn't have to give me a thing. This is almost worse. There you go, right there.
That's nice.
We're sorry there was an issue with your order. We hope this makes your experience a little better. Coupon code value $2.
It does make it a little better. A very, very little bit. And you have a year to spend it.
What the fuck am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this?
I don't know. I don't know. $2. Good.
Do you think she meant to write 20 and just, a little fast type it and missed out?
Maybe, because that, I can't imagine. Why would you even say it? If that is so weird. Only you though. You get this happens with you and services like internet app services, stuff like that. You have the weirdest luck with these things.
Isn't that
you
bizarre?
Get banned from fucking what was it?
Uber Eats.
You get banned from because of whatever. I blame that one on you though.
That was a little my fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
The tequila, but whatever.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
But this is. I mean, it's very strange. $2.
$2.
I mean, $5 would have been. Even that's nothing, but it's something. It's around, not around. I don't know. It's just an even kind of thing. $2. What are you gonna do with it?
$5. $5 is like half off one ticket's service charge fee, right? You could 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon make it to something.
Yeah, $2 isn't gonna do anything. Hey, it's $2 you didn't have before. All right.
I just feel like, do you think there's like a StubHub meeting tomorrow where like, all right, let's go over all the angry people who got screwed. And then, okay, Renee, how did you handle this? I gave him the $2 gift card and he was good. All right, great. Good.
Brilliant. Thanks for not giving him the $3 because that would have bankrupted us.
Yeah.
That would have been it.
Yeah, because they took it on the chin on this one too. Because I think I paid like $90 for the tickets, or I forget how much, set 80 or whatever it was. And the ones that they wound up giving me were like $50, $60 a ticket more for 3 tickets. It's a nice little hit they're taking there.
Yeah. So they upgraded you or no? Like
it's kind of, well, yeah. I mean, it was kind of like I picked like because I'm on the lower bowl anyway, but I was on the end. And so I was like, hey, could you get me in the middle? And they were like, no.
No, we can't.
I was like, what about this section? They're like, no, we don't have it. Because I guess when that happens, she was only, they just kind of give her a couple of options. It's not like she sees everything that's available. Because that's what I was looking at on my end. I'm like, well, I'm like, these are good seats. Can you give me these? And she's like, yeah, no. So I got a little bit closer to the middle, but on the side that the Islanders defend twice, which is not where I like to be. I like to be on the side where I was, where they shoot twice. That's the more exciting part of a hockey game.
They should have threw you into one of the boxes up top.
Right.
Give me a little free food in there. Nice comfy chair, a little bar.
I almost gave him do you know who you're talking to?
You see? Could have talked about you on Anthony on Air.
They said we do. That's why we're sending you a $2 gift card.
And that whatever you just said is worth $2 to us. Here you go.
I mean, it's a little insulting, is it not? I feel like I should be a little insulted.
I would be insulted. I mean, you tip the pizza delivery guy more than that.
Not for nothing. I'm having a rough. Did you see on Twitter what I put? I go into the pizza place. When did we get pizza? Tuesday? Go into the pizza place Tuesday by myself. Walk in by myself. I tell the lady, I need 2 regular slices. I need 2 upside down slices. I order 6 slices and 6 garlic knots. She's putting it all in the oven. She goes, "Is that for here or to go?" And I went, "I feel like you're calling me fat. Is that to go? No, I'm gonna sit here and eat all 6 fucking slices.
Sit here for the next 4 hours and show this down."
I go, "Yeah, it's to go." Like, I know I've gained a little weight, but Jesus Christ, lady. I mean, what the fucking thing in a box.
Did she not? Maybe she didn't see that you were alone. Did she know? Like, maybe you had a table full of people that you were ordering for, or no?
That's what I'm telling myself,
Okay.
to stop myself from crying. But
I don't know. I could wolf down 6 slices and 6 garlic nuts.
nah, maybe. What's the most pizza you ever ate?
I stop myself at 4. If I go past 4, I'm in trouble.
We've all had that. I can't do it anymore, but I feel like in our 20s, 4 was doable.
Yeah.
You know,
I've done 4 slices recently.
Recently?
Yeah.
I've probably
not too long ago.
Yeah, I could probably do 3 and maybe like a garlic knot or a quarter of a chicken roll or something. I've had those on rough days.
God, I'm hungry.
Fucking chicken roll is great.
Chicken rolls are amazing.
Isn't it? Is right.
Chicken.
Don't you feel like a chicken roll? The dough gets slightly undercooked on the inside, but that's kind of what makes it delicious.
It does. Yeah, I don't want too. Yeah, you want that gooiness a little bit in there.
And it's like, and you're like, is this mozzarella? Is this dough? I don't really.
It becomes a new organism. It's like venom. It just becomes its own symbiotic thing inside.
That's good.
It's wonderful.
It is like venom. You're right. All right, that's it for us. Don't forget to become a member. Damn it!
Don't forget. This is your reminder.
This is your reminder.
Do it.
Appreciate everybody. We will see you guys on Friday.
Show me potato salad.
Maybe we should go now.